What's going on YouTube? Welcome to my channel Money Moves with K. I am K, and today we're going to talk about 5 hidden filters every investor should be using. Okay, I'm gonna go through it A to Z. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is days on the market or days on Zillow. So this is very important because I actually just recently, my husband and I just recently sold a property, and the longer, I know this firsthand, the longer the property stays on the market, a seller, the owner, gets a little worried. Okay, to be very frank and honest, you get a little worried. So what happens is most times they will decrease the price, they will reduce the price, which is my second one. But for now, we want to find the days on the market. Now, I will suggest to you here. So I'm searching Alabama. Let me go back for a second. I'm searching Alabama just as my example, just because I want to show you just a random state to select. Okay. So what you want to do is come over here to more. So click the more button. You're going to go all the way down. And there's a button here that says days on Zillow. So it has everything from 1 day to 36 months. You don't want to go that far out to 36 months, but 30 to 90 days is like a sweet spot. More so than 90-day mark. That's about 3 months, right? And that is the time where a seller starts to sweat a little bit, okay? So 90 days is a really good benchmark, but really anything from 60 to 90 days is what I prefer to filter when I'm selecting a property to look at, okay? So you're gonna click that. All right, so that's the first filter that you should be using, is to find out how many days it has been on the market. Another way you could do that is to come up here and you can go to newest. It'll pull up all the newest listings, and like this one has been on the market for 2 days, all the way up until however many days. If you scroll the way down, you can see how many pages there are. Okay, not too many pages. And mind you, let me backtrack as well. I'm searching $5,000 to $10,000 because I was trying to find a deal. But if you're actually searching for a home to live in, so it's already set, you don't need any repairs or anything, you can click here and select what you want the home price to be, the maximum, okay, allowable price for it. So if it's $100,000, $200,000, whatever, you can put that here. But for just my example purposes, I chose $5,000 to $10,000. That's my parameters. I'll tell you this. This is another trick or tip. Try to identify what is the average rental market in your area. So if the average rental market in Alabama or this area, let's just say Alabama, for instance, is $2,000 to $3,000. I try to put my minimum at $5,000, typically on all states, because I don't want Zillow to filter out or give me rentals. Okay, so I don't want rentals in this particular instance. I want to purchase the home, and a lot of times I've noticed if you put it like at 0 or 1,000, it'll give you rentals in the area, which is, it's a waste of my time. So I try to put it above what a rental rate would be in Alabama. $5,000 to me seems like that's the case, and it's worked pretty well when I search Alabama. So keep that in mind. Now, if you wanted to, like I said, extend this all the way up until $200,000 and apply that, that's perfectly fine, right? The point is you're trying to figure out, and this is like 6 minutes ago, okay? And if you scroll down, there should be some pages down here. Yes. So if you wanted to know some of the older ones, you can go to page 7 and it should say a little bit later time. Well, this has a whole bunch of pages because it's still very early in the process. 5 days, 5 days. But what I would highly suggest is don't even do that. That's a waste of your time. Come up to the filter I showed you originally and scroll all the way down and try to search properties that have been on the market for at least, in this case, 30 to 60 days, okay? And that will filter it out for you. You can kind of go from there, okay? All right, so the next thing I want to show you is, let's go back. Let's put in $10,000. All right, so the next thing I want to discuss with you is price reduce. Now, this is one of my favorite techniques to use, is price reduce, because you will identify the buyer, not the buyers, but the seller's motivation, okay? Again, as I said earlier, the longer the property is on the market, the owner is sweating bullets a little bit because they want to sell regardless of how it looks. As you see this property, it needs some repair and some work. However, it just doesn't matter how it looks. What's really important is to identify what It does matter how it looks, right? Because you want to make sure you get a good deal. You want to do your due diligence. That's not what I meant. What I meant was the owner knows that this property needs work, right? So regardless if they're selling it for $9,000 or $2, okay, they want their money, right? And they don't want it to stay on the market forever, which is what I meant, all right? So price reduced. So it says price cut. This is the indicator right here. Price cut. It says there was a price cut on 212 for $2,000. Cool. Now let me show you some additional information here that will allow you to identify the owner's pattern of reducing their price. So you're going to scroll all the way down here and it has price history. This is like the bread and butter right here. This is what I always look at because I want to see like the timeline of when they're reducing the price and how many days it's been since they've reduced the price. So you can see they listed it for sale roughly 2/5/2026 for $9,900. But then a couple of days later, almost probably like the next week or so, they listed 212. They reduced the price by $2,000 to $7,900. Now, at the time of this recording, it's the end of February. So I would only imagine at this trend that pretty soon they would be willing and able to reduce the price on their own. And even if they don't show a reduction of price on here, this is a good indicator that this owner may be motivated to sell and sell pretty quickly, okay? There have been a lot of listings that have multiple on their timeline. They have multiple reductions, like within a couple days. That lets me know, yes, you are ready to sell this property and get it off of your hands, which is where you, the investor, comes in and try to, collect a property at a fairly good deal. But of course, like I say on all my videos, you must do your own due diligence. This is just an example. This is not something that I'm encouraging as far as I like this property. I don't necessarily, I'm not interested in this property. I'm just showing you this for educational purposes only, so you can identify some of these filters to be a better investor by using Zillow. All right, boom. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was to filter your words, okay? Let me go back for a second. And what you can do, again, you go over here to more, click this. You're going to scroll all the way down and there's a section that says keywords. Now here you can put in keywords that would identify properties that need fixing up, especially if you're trying to find a distressed property. So you can put fixer upper here. You can put TLC. You can put, it says tag, TLC. You can put DIY enthusiast. I've seen that. You can put cash only. You can put handyman special. I've seen that a ton of times. Actually, that's probably the more popular verbiage. Handyman special, okay? In fact, the property that we just looked at it said something to that effect as well. So my point is, you put the words, the keywords here in order to find some of these properties. Now, this one actually doesn't. Let me go back. I want to show you. Let me take the filters out because the other property that I just showed you had some keywords in it, which I'm not sure why I didn't pull up. So let's look at it. All right, so DIY enthusiast, that's exactly where I saw it, right? That's an indicator that, it needs a lot of repair. So you definitely want to do your due diligence. But the point of me showing you that was to show you that you can filter out certain words that will be in the description of the property listing so that you will know how to get a distressed property for a fairly good deal with your due diligence, okay? All right. And let me go back to, I don't know if I mentioned this prior, but the days on Zillow, it does mention it here as well, okay? So just keep that in mind. Days on Zillow is listed under the description as well. All right. The next thing I want to discuss with you is to look for sale by owner. So let me expand this a bit to, let's say 200,000. I think that's 200K. They gave me 100K. That's fine for my example purposes. All right. So for sale by owner. So what you do, once again, you click more. And under more, you have all of these boxes here. And what you're going to do is click or deselect agent listed, new construction, foreclosures, and deselect auctions. And you're only looking for owner posted, okay? And I don't want HOA. Okay, I don't want any HOA there. All right, so let me go back to that for just a second. Once you have owner posted selected, what you're gonna do now is see what it brings up. So it also says it right here, guys. It says for sale by owner. And if it doesn't say that, then sometimes it may say in the listing. So don't just try to look at the first page. If you don't see it, still click it, all right? So this is being sold for $84,900, and I click it, and they have 2 photos. Let me say this too. On a lot of properties, whether it be agent listed or for sale by owner, you do need to make sure that it is an actual person that is legitimately selling it and they legitimately own the property, okay? So how would you know if, let's say Sam Davis, as an example, don't know who owns this property, but let's say Sam Davis is the owner of this property. How will you know that Sam Davis is posting this on Zillow for his own behalf? What you would do is go to tax assessors and you can find out who owns the property. And I actually discussed that in my tax auction course. If you haven't gotten the tax auction course and you're not interested in properties on Zillow, rather you want off-market properties, check my tax auction course out, where I do discuss how you look at the tax assessors and find out more information about the owner, so that you know you're talking to the actual owner and this is not just a scam at all, right? So whether it be agent listed or for sale by owner listed, you still need to do your due diligence to see if you're talking to the owner. Now, a lot of times they will post their phone number on the listing as well. Just do your verification, guys. I do not want you to get super excited and pay $84,000 for a home or any of these homes, not just this one. This is just my example. I don't want you to pay any amount of money for these properties and you find out, wow, I wasn't even talking to the owner, okay? So keep that in mind. This is $75,000 for sale by owner, and this is $80,000 for sale by owner as examples. What I wanted to highlight this because for sale by owner is a really good method as well. The reason why, or filter, the reason why is because you're bypassing the realtor. So no realtor commissions, no realtor fees. You're going directly to the source, which is the owner of the property. All right. Now, this one is my last tip for you, or last filter that I want you to consider is sold listings or sold properties. So here we go. So we're in Alabama, and what we're going to do here is it says for sale here. You're going to go down below and click sold. And this will allow you to know what properties have sold. Now, you might say to yourself, Kay, how does this help me? If it's already sold, I can't buy it. So what's the point? Well, as a real estate investor, especially if you're new, you can see the demand potentially in an area. You can see where other investors, if it was an investment property, some folks just purchase it for themselves. But you can see if an investor purchased it and why did they purchase it? What was the reasoning for them purchasing? Was it just a cheap price or affordable price or what? What I want you to do with these stats, especially if you're looking at it as an investment, is you're going to look at comps in the area, comparables in the area to see how much your property is worth. That's number one. Number two, you're going to look at, in the event that you do want to rent the property, you want to look at the Zestimate in the area. How much can you charge for rent every single month in that area? Okay. Now, I've said this in the past on my past videos. The Zestimate is not always correct. You do have to do further due diligence to make sure that you can, in the event that you want to rent this property out, you can rent it for $744. Okay. So yeah, do your due diligence with that. So once again, sold listings allow you as the investor to see where in the world other investors or other people have bought, because they may see potential in the area that you may not know yet. So they may know something that you don't. For instance, this one sold for $12,000. Now, this is a huge tree right here. Let me see. Hold on. Guys, trees can destroy your property. I don't rock with the trees. I rock with trees to resell them, but I do not like trees around my property, especially if it's an investment property. The roots can do all types of, it's just a whole bunch, right? So that's beside the point. But somebody purchased this property. Oh, they have 20 pictures. I love when listings, whether for sale by owner or agent listed, they have a ton of pictures so you can see inside. So we see this picture right here. Now, let me say this too. If you're an investor, especially a new investor, this right here may scare you, okay? Because I give, in my 10K property report, we do free property listings. We'll send them to you every single week, okay? And a lot of my properties do look like this, okay? Under $10,000. If you're interested, that'll be in the description as well. But the reason why I mention that is because don't let this scare you without, well, I guess it has to, because it looks how it looks. But if you really know what you're doing, this may not be a bad idea to purchase it, especially if you're a contractor yourself, or especially if you know the value in the area and you know what it can rent for, which is why I mentioned that in the beginning. Guys, I feel like I'm going on and on and on. That means I need to stop because the video will continue to go on and on and on. Thank you so very much for watching it to this point. That was all that I had to mention as far as the 5 filters that I wanted to discuss with you. And if you made it this far, down in the comment section, go ahead and put no excuses. 2026 and beyond, we have no excuses for not investing in real estate. And also, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, guys, you stay blessed. Peace.